Okay, welcome to a new episode of Nate's MMA Corner. And if you watch my show, as always, you're in my corner. Today's episode is new UFC on ESPN 3 post-fight Ngannou versus Dos Santos. Wow, this was amazing fight card from first prelim to the main event. A lot of great finishes. You know, as some of you know, I love finishes. Anyways, so post-fight rundown of the main card. See how well I did. I went. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. I went 4-2 on this main card, so not too shabby. Yeah, great fights. And yeah, to kick off the main card in the light heavyweight division, we had Alonso Menefield versus Paul Craig. This one I called pretty good. I knew there would be a finish at some point. Alonso would just pick his shots and land some good stuff. And, Paul Craig would be looking to grapple. And it just, it was not the best game plan for a guy like Alonso who's real athletic. And pretty good takedown defense. And I think if Paul Craig tried to stand and bang a little bit more, I think there would have been a little bit more success for Paul Craig. But anyways, yeah, Alonso Menefield KO punches round 1. What a great fight. Amazing fight. And then we had in the lightweight division Drew Dober versus Marco Polo Reyes. Amazing fight, TKO punches, round 1. In 1 minute and 7 seconds, win for Drew Dober. Drew Dober surprised me. I thought he was going to keep going till it was a decision. I thought this was going to be a points match, essentially. Drew Dober proved me wrong. And I don't mean that in a bad way, but impressive win for Drew Dober. Then in the lightweight division, we had Vince Pichel versus Roosevelt Roberts. This one, okay, I had Roosevelt winning the first round, and then the second round, watching it at first glance, it could have gone either way. I had it for Roosevelt, I felt at first, and then until I saw the stats. Then round 3 was clearly for Pichel. The ground game in rounds 2 and 3 started to pick up for Pichel, especially in round 3. And yeah, based on the stats, this was the right decision. I think Roosevelt will. He's going to learn from this loss, and he'll come back better. He's still a young fighter. He still has a winning record in the UFC and overall in his fight game. 8-1 is not a bad record to have, especially your loss to Pichel. I think. If Pichel is more active, we'll definitely be hearing a lot more about him in the lightweight division. This was a good win for Pichel as well because it shows that he can stand and bang with the young guys. Then in the welterweight division, we had Damian Maia versus Anthony Rocamartin. Actually, you know what? Yeah. This one, yeah, you know what? Never mind, I went 3-3 on this card, yeah. Yeah, I thought Rocco Martin was going to win on this one, but didn't happen. Maia kept getting those takedowns over and over and over again and just messing up the game plan of Martin, or Martin was just too worried about the submission game, I feel, of Maia, which does happen sometimes. But, yeah, I still think Maia needs to throw more punches to set up those takedowns. It'll be so much easier for him. But great win for Maia. He definitely looked good on the ground. And Martin too. I mean, he avoided some good submission attempts. So yeah, this was a decision win for. Oh yeah, the Pichel fight was decision win, and then Maia was decision win. Then decision majority for Maia and decision unanimous for Pichel. Anyways, then in the co-main event, in the flyweight division, we had Joseph Benavidez versus Jussier Formiga. Joseph Benavidez looked amazing. TKO head kick and punches round 2 really puts a stamp on that title shot as far as I'm concerned. I think he's definitely earned his title shot in the flyweight division. I think a rematch with Cejudo would be great, or something that wasn't brought up by Joseph, but maybe an interim belt against another top contender in the flyweight division. Maybe someone in the top 5, maybe top 10, fight Joseph for interim belt, depending on Cejudo when he comes back and how it all plays out. But yeah, great win for Joseph over a tough, durable veteran in Jussier Formiga. Then in the heavyweight division, we had Francis Ngannou versus Junior Dos Santos. This one, oh man, Junior, come on. He basically, Junior gets too predictable. Same thing with Maia. Maia with the ground game and Junior with the boxing. He loves boxing so much. I felt like Junior should have taken that all those black belt remarks and really tried to make this into a grappling war with Ngannou, and Ngannou would have got worn out and been scared to stand and bang because he would have been thinking about the takedowns all the time. But Junior Dos Santos, he wanted to stand and box, and I think, which is not the worst game plan against Ngannou, but I wouldn't, if you have a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, it's something you may want to consider against a guy like Ngannou. And Junior Dos Santos was looking good for the first 10-20 seconds. He landed some good kicks, but wasn't careful enough, I guess, against Ngannou, and Ngannou got TKO punches round 1. Looked good. I think Ngannou definitely deserves a title shot at this point. He needs to either, if DC beats Stipe, and I could see DC wanting a crack at Ngannou to avenge the beating he gave his teammate Kane. If Stipe wins, then I could see the UFC wanting to go, oh, you know what, let's do a trilogy, and then DC will be like, yeah, I'm going to retire after this third and final fight in the trilogy against Stipe, thus tying up Ngannou. So Ngannou's not exactly 100% clear for a title shot, but, or I could see a case of, someone getting injured after the heavyweight title fight, and then maybe an interim belt, but that's a very far-fetched scenario. But yeah, I think at this point you gotta give Ngannou a title shot, assuming things just play out naturally where the top guy fights for the belt after the title fight. So yeah, but Francis Ngannou TKO punches round 1, minute and 11 seconds into the main event. Amazing. And so yeah, that wraps up my pre-fight show for this card. Stay tuned in the coming days for my pre-fight for UFC 239 Jones versus Santos. That's going to be amazing pay-per-view event. And then the co-main with Holly Holm and Amanda Nunes. So stacked card. And as always, until then, see ya.